Since Jim Goodwin was sacked as Aberdeen manager, he has somehow gone and found another job in the Scottish Premiership, no less, before Aberdeen have appointed a manager. So I've taken it upon myself. I figured it's about time to simulate the end of this season and the full 2023-24 league season with various managers that have been linked with Aberdeen one way or another, whether they're likely or not. That's for you to decide, and I suppose we'll probably find out very soon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but I suppose we better get stuck into things. I've tried to make this simulation as realistic as possible, but no matter how many times I tried it, I couldn't get Aberdeen knocked out of the Scottish Cup by Darvel. But we're picking up on the 6th of February. As things stand, Aberdeen, unrealistically, still in the Scottish Cup, having lost in the semi-final of the Premier Sports Cup, not to Rangers, but to Celtic. Currently in 6th, Kilmarnock and Motherwell are up there. Dundee United are bottom, so that's realistic at least. But I couldn't really get it exact, but we're mid-table, we're a few points off third. I say a few points, we're a long way off third. And I'm going to put some managers in place to see if anyone can save us at this stage. Barry Robson's not doing a bad job in real life though. And first up is the Spaniard, Marty Cifuentes, current manager of Hammarby IF in the Swedish top flight. Marty's attributes are very well rounded. Obviously he's been a success over in Scandinavia, but can he do the job with Aberdeen, at least according to this simulation? I think he's been very highly thought of by certain pockets of the Aberdeen support. As I said, previously manager of Hammarby, at least in the save anyway, AAB, Sandefjord, AIK, Hostepalat, loads of teams. He's been around the block, plenty experience. But how's he done with Aberdeen at the end of the 2023 season, having taken over in February? Badly is the answer. Obviously aiming to be in that top 6 come the end of this season, and hopefully in one of the potentially 5 European spots. However, poor old Marty has got us in the bottom 6, finishing 7th, even though we have more points than, well, Hearts, Motherwell, Livingston. Yeah. It's how it works, unfortunately. However, he did get Aberdeen to another semi-final, knocked out once again by Celtic. It's not winning it, but it's better than we did in real life, I suppose. Well, we'd already done better in real life in the simulation before we'd even started it. But maybe it's better to judge after their first full season in charge, where perhaps they've had a chance to get rid of some of Jim Goodwin's dead wood. Marty was very, very busy in the summer transfer window, particularly in the English market, it would seem, which I suppose is quite realistic. Loans from Arsenal, Everton and Blackburn, and Manchester United, actually, I suppose. Picking up Scott McMahon, 215k spent on him. I'm not sure about that at his age. Greg Doherty, I suppose, is a good signing. And Joel Lateboisdere, a player that I had on my Twitch save. Yep, I'm now streaming on Twitch and quite regularly too. I'm managing Aberdeen, it's going very well. Calum Right 2 is the handle and the link is in the description if you want to check it out. I'm going live on Thursday. This is going out on the Thursday morning. I'm going live Thursday night. Be there. Cifuentes', that's a mouthful, signings have paid off though, qualifying for the Europa League playoff by finishing 3rd, above Hearts, above Hibs and Motherwell. Turn it around from being in the bottom 6. He didn't have much time to fix the mess we were in, mind you. But sealing 3rd spot above the 2 Edinburgh clubs. I mean, we're a mile off Rangers and Celtic, but that's to be expected. It's positive, and I'd be very happy with that if that was going to happen next season. Knocked out in the quarter-final stage of both cups, mind you. Scottish Cup by Celtic, Premier Sports Cup, or the Viaplay Cup as it's now called in real life, by Rangers. Not fantastic, but I think I'd be happy with most of that. Next up is former ADO Den Haag manager and the best name in this simulation, Ruud Brood. Great name and decent attributes in Football Manager 2, other than people management, which is a bit of a concern given, well, we saw how far Jim Goodwin's poor people management got us, didn't we? Rudy Broody, slightly more successful than Cifuentes in his first half season or so in charge in terms of the league position anyway, securing 5th spot, securing A playoff place? No. A qualifying place in the UEFA Europa Conference League. Not too bad, better than Cifuentes. However, the cup's not as good. I say cups, I mean cup. We were knocked out in the 5th round by Hibs. But let's see, let's judge his transfer business and see how he does in his first full season. Average, very average is the answer. Average, very average. In fact, pretty poor considering the fact we finished below Inverness Caledonian Thistle, who finished 4th. A 6th place finish for Ruud Brood in his first season. I want to have a look at how his transfers went, because maybe that's played into things. Cifuentes probably recruited better, I'm going to guess. But even though his instant success was, well, there was an instant improvement, not so good in the long run, which is interesting. Quarter-final exits in both of the domestic cup competitions, both suffering at the hands of Celtic as well, which is not fantastic, and knocked out in the 3rd qualifying round of the Conference League by Club Bruges, who are decent. I'm going to have a little look to see how badly we were beaten. Did we need to beat anyone to get there? We got past Lillestrøm before, well, losing 5-0 over 2 legs to Club Bruges and Jack Hendry. So, not fantastic. And clearly, neither was transfer business either. No great departures in terms of players leaving other than Dante Polvara, if you consider that a great departure. Probably the most notable name. Everyone else really going out on loan. Dean Campbell, Angus MacDonald. Ellis Sims was brought in on loan from Everton. A few loans from England once again. Zach. But Josh Ginnelly was brought in, which is interesting. 2 former Hearts players. In fact, Ruben Rodriguez looks actually a decent player. Jacob Davenport we were linked with in real life as well in the summer, I believe. And Regan Poole. Average at best. The recruitment wasn't fantastic for Rudy Broody. Oh god, I hope this doesn't happen. Neil Lennon. Highly rated attribute-wise on Football Manager. Kind of understandable given how well he did at Celtic, but then he bottled a 10. He's always going to get a decent rating, isn't he though? But I will judge him solely on his Football Manager credentials in this simulation. I hope he doesn't come in real life. It would be a disaster. There would be outrage, I'm going to guess, from the Aberdeen fans. However, at the end of his first half season, he did have us 5th. Was that enough to qualify for the Conference League? It was. So, well, that's something. But Ruud Brood did that, and then it went awfully, essentially, in the first full season. So I'll be interested to see how that went. And did we get knocked out by Hibs? Semi-final against Hearts. It's not much better, is it? He was very, very busy in the transfer market, mind you. Lots of free transfers. David Wotherspoon was signed. So, interesting tactic from Neil Lennon. Ryan Strain signed. That's positive. I suppose managed to get fees for a few players as well. Sammy Amiobi, well, personally I'd be all for that. But Michael Rose, the most notable one, you would probably say. You know where this is going, didn't you? Signed him on my Twitch. Link in the description. Check it out. The hundreds and thousands of signings, however, were not to great success. Finishing 6th, missing out on the Conference League. Finishing behind Livingston. There's no real excuse for that given the budget difference. Pretty poor from Neil Lennon, but kind of expected, I suppose. And also, still recovering from Scott Brown being here. I think Neil Lennon would cause a meltdown. Certainly for me, anyway. Knocked out in the 4th qualifying round by Bodo Glimt to the Conference League. 4th round by Hamilton in the Scottish Cup. And 2nd round by Dundee in the League Cup. So, as if Alan Burrows didn't know this already, I'm sure he's tuning in. Avoid him at all costs. Felipe Martins, the Portuguese manager, currently of Casa Pia, is up next. Now this is one that I think is very unlikely, but he is still sort of in the bookies' favourites, if you like. It's all nonsense. But I saw the link and I actually wouldn't mind him, if I am honest. Still a young manager, decent attributes on Football Manager. I think at one point had Casa Pia 6th in the Portuguese league, despite the fact they only got promoted last season. It's reputable. I'd be okay with it. he had Aberdeen finish 5th, which this time was not enough to qualify for Europe in any way. So that suggests that, well, I'm going to guess St Johnstone or Dundee United won the cup and are therefore in the Europa League playoffs. That's a terrifying thought. So terrifying I couldn't even get it out. Yep, Aberdeen were knocked out in the quarter-final by Motherwell, and it was then won by Dundee! Dundee! Did they even get promoted from the Championship? Dundee! They're going to be the Europa League playoffs. They're the Championship, and Wraith were the other team in the final. What's going on? I think that's probably all the evidence you need that this Football Manager simulation means nothing, but it's a little bit of fun. It's a little bit interesting. Leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back making videos. This is the first one this year. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. But stick around. Felipe Martins, as expected, went a little bit Portuguese. However, he did sign Greg Doherty, which I believe it was Marty Cifuentes who also did that. Didn't sign him on my Twitch, mind you. Nee Lopez, a fee paid for him. 24 years old. Very good mentally and physically. Fine. Decent. Friends with Duke, I'm going to guess. Diogo Figueiras, also Portuguese. There's a theme here, isn't there? Tiago Sá, Portuguese. Yep. Maxi Oyedele. Oh, well. Polish. Begins with a P. And once again, we finish 5th. However, don't qualify for Europe in any way, shape or form. How? What's happened this time? I don't know what's going on. Knocked out in the 4th round by Dundee. Brilliant. Semi-final of the League Cup by Celtic. Who's won the Scottish? Now Dundee United have won it. I mean, great time for the city of Dundee, I suppose. Dundee haven't won it for 100 odd years. And now Dundee United have done it. And they're terrible. Hopefully the former Poland national team manager's name I'm not going to try and pronounce would not be terrible though. Czeslaw Michniewicz. Gotta go with Czeslaw. Looks happy, I suppose. Well-rounded on Football Manager. Let's see how he does. Well, he had us finish 5th, which is okay, better than some, and actually in the Europa League. Does that mean that Czeslaw had us win the Scottish? We won the Scottish Cup with Czeslaw. Right, I've seen enough. Get him in. That was also Czeslaw's transfer policy. Signed a lot of players, including a 90-year-old Robert Snodgrass, David Wheeler, Will Keane, Kevin Stewart. There's lots of them. I hope he's better than the last Stewart that we had. Yeah, he signed loads, including Jack McKenzie on loan. What's going on? Did Jack McKenzie get so? Did he manage to get a good fee for Jack McKenzie to Stoke and then bring him back on loan? Not bad. Better than I've done on Twitch. But the league wasn't good, was it? No. 9th. And St Mirren are in the Europa League. This video was carnage and not what I came here for, all this nonsense, but you know what? Entertaining nonetheless. Is Czeslaw actually still the manager? Calum Davidson's here. Czeslaw got sacked after winning us the Scottish Cup. That's odd. Sacked after 327 days. Okay, on the 30th of December. Not a very happy new year for him, is it? No. How did we do the cups? I mean, under the stewardship of Callum Davidson. Knocked out in the group stage of the Europa League. That's okay. Not too bad. Of the Conference League, rather. Knocked out in the playoff round by Feyenoord. That's fine, the Europa League. 2 quarter-final defeats, 1 St Mirren. That's not okay. Who was in the groups? Who was in the groups? Who did Czeslaw have in the groups? Victoria Pilsen, Trabzonspor, and Roma. That's Roma. I mean, it's a tough deck of cards to... What's it? A tough hand. That's it. First video in a while mainly been streaming, where I've also been playing Victoria Pilsen in my group in the Europa League group stages. Come check us out. Are you sick of the plugs yet? Just follow and I'll shut up. Thanks, link in the description. Now, this one's just in for a laugh, since he linked himself to us on Sports Sound. John Hughes! I think I messed up the simulation, and it's just him at the end of the second season. But here's him at the start of the simulation. The attributes don't suggest this is going to go well. Well, at the end of the simulation, he's still in a job. So, that's interesting. Let's just see how he did. So this season we finished 6th. Last season, how did he do? 8th. So, how's he in a job but Czesław's not? Got knocked out by Montrose in the Scottish Cup 4th round in his second season, and knocked out in the quarter-final by Motherwell in the Viaplay Cup. Did win the Scottish Cup? Didn't even win the Scottish Cup. So, I'd say that's probably the worst it's gone, other than Czeslaw getting sacked. So, hope this is everything you need to know to not appoint John Hughes. If anyone's seriously thinking about that, well, I'd just be very worried, if I'm honest. Did he keep Marley Watkins, though? That's all I really want to know. Did sign Robert Snodgrass, which, not surprising. Paid money for Liam Scales. Okay, more reasons. Did he get rid of Marley Watkins? Because if so, that's how you know Football Manager's realistic, because John Hughes would absolutely be keeping him. Is that Kelty Hearts? Oh, poor Marley. Now time for Mr. Elbows himself, the Basler. Nobody calls him that. It's Barry Robson. Now, Barry's done rather well in interim charge. At time of recording, still in charge. I'm going to see how he does if he got the gig full time. He looks okay, to be honest. Not just physically. Attributes wise. And if given the job until the end of the season in real life, well, Football Manager reckons anyway, that he'd have us finish 5th. I mean, I don't know what Kilmarnock are doing up there, but 5th. European spots, better than I was once looking. Anyway, take that. How about in the Cup? Did he do anything? Nah. Quarterfinal by Ross County? No. Barry out. Barry out. And whilst not as busy as some others in the transfer market, he did pay money for Hayden Coulson. So, interesting. Kelland Watts, a player I looked at on Twitch. Someone from Tampa Bay. Interesting. Very interesting. Not very impressive transfers. Maybe Jody Jones paid a decent fee for him. He's okay. But it didn't look like it worked out. It didn't look like it worked out because 7th place for Barry Robson's Reds, which would be a concern, and also a concern of mine in real life that he's not actually experienced enough, probably, despite the fact he's done well in interim charge. It's a shame, but maybe one day. And he's got Yilbert to be the top assistman, so every cloud. Did he do well in the Cups though? That would maybe be a thing in his favour. No. Queen of the South, oh, PTSD. In the Scottish Cup as well, and quarter-final, Hearts in the Viaplay Cup. Brilliant. Conference League knocked out in the group stages. Who do we have? Let's hope it's respectable. Respectable. Besiktas, Victoria Pilsen, following me everywhere I go, including on Twitch. Calum Right 2, link is in the description. I think this is probably encouraging you to not do it at this stage. Now, the man you've all been waiting for, up there with the bookies' favourite, and possibly the favourite amongst the fans, Ricardo Rodriguez. He is not the favourite of Football Manager, mind you. Attributes not fantastic, but a good motivator, very adaptable, so good, and a better people manager than Jim Goodwin and Ruud Brood. So, you know, I'd be happy with him, and I think he's probably the one I'm most excited about in real life. Whether it's likely or not, I'm not convinced. But how did he do? Very decent in the first 6 months in charge, finishing 4th. I'd be happy with that. First 4 months in charge, actually, taking us from 6th to 4th, picking up a total of 22 points from the 6th of February onwards. Anything in the cup competitions, I wonder if he's done well here. And it might sway me. managers, not this way me. Quarterfinal, Motherwell. No, I don't want him now. Ricky, however, was not very busy in the transfer market, but it seems rather successful. Carl Winchester signed, who also signed for us under Barry Robson, I believe. Nesta Guinness-Walker, great name, and basically Rory Delap, 17 throw-ins, Jesus Christ. And Christina Aguilera, messed that joke up, her son. And the signings did help us qualify for Europe once again, the Conference League, once again with Hearts winning the Scottish Cup. I wonder if there's any more cup competitions. 5th round by Dundee. Dundee have been our arch nemesis this video. Goodness me. Quarter-final by Celtic in the Viaplay Cup and not making it to the Conference League proper, I suppose you could call it, Heerenveen. I signed a player from Heerenveen. Yeah, you guessed it. On Twitch. Look, you know where to find it by now. If you've not followed it, I'm not going to mention it again. But I would really appreciate it if you did. Thank you kindly. And thank you also for tuning into this video. This is where we will leave it. Please do let me know in the comments down below who you would like as the next Aberdeen manager. There's got to be an appointment imminent. Surely at this stage, international break after the Hearts game, you'd think it's going to be then. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe with notifications on because I am back and I am buzzing about it. On YouTube, I will be uploading a bit more regularly than once every 3 months, so stick around for that. Once again, thanks very much for tuning in, and I'll see you on Twitch. Take care.